Hi everyone, I'm Arthur Benjamin and this is Farrah White, as you know, and we're here for The Love of Dogs. We're so excited to introduce you all to Ellie Harris, the woman responsible for adopting and allowing us to bring Sea Lion here to Texas from Thailand. We'll get an update on that coming up, and Bandit and Sea Lion will give you their own update.
Then we'll introduce you to Dash, a North Texas rescue group helping Aussies find forever homes.
And later, we'll show you the power of dog rescue. We'll meet a woman whose entire life was changed by a rescue dog.
But first, an update on a story we've been following over the last several months.
Sea Lion, the little brown guy on the floor, is a puppy found in Thailand. His mother was part of the barbaric meat trade in Southeast Asia. Yes, they eat dogs. He was found with 2 dislocated legs, and that may have saved his life. Here's more of the Sea Lion story. Watch this. Well, that's the story of Soy Dogs, an organization that's doing incredible work to expose the illegal dog trade in Thailand. Fortunately, little Sea Lion was taken out of that facility in Thailand and is now with Ellie Harris, who's here with us to update us on Sea Lion. In reality, Sea Lion is here because Australia has a 7-month quarantine, and courtesy of EARS, the Education Dog Network in Dallas, he has a foster here for 6 months, and then he'll go live with Ellie and her daughter India, who are here with us today. Say hi, India.
Hi.
And you'll notice they have lovely accents. Ellie, tell us about your love of Sea Lion, how you got this started, and where we are today.
Yeah, sure. Well, I was following Soy Dogs on Facebook and the illegal dog meat trade in Thailand, where many dogs who are street dogs or pet dogs are stolen and taken across the border to Vietnam. And I wanted to adopt one of these dogs. And when I approached Soy Dogs, they explained to me how difficult it would be, and no one had adopted a dog and taken it to Australia because of the whole process and trying to find a foster home. And I just thought, well, there has to be a first time for everything. So I decided to go out of my way to find a way to adopt Sea Lion, and contacted hundreds of charities across the UK and the US to try and find a foster home for 6 months. And as luck would have it, I stumbled across Arthur Benjamin, who has been amazing and fantastic and really changed Sea Lion's life, and found him a foster home here in Dallas. And we have come here to spend 10 days with him so that when he comes to Australia, he's very familiar with us. But I have spent time with him before in Thailand, but I wanted to have some extra time with him here and meet his foster mom, and just so he would feel comfortable with the transition back to Australia.
Well, we can all see how dangerous Sea Lion is, and how he's absolutely pummeling Bandit. The two of them have become very good friends this week, and it's so nice to have you here and to have your daughter India here. India's all of, how old, India? How old are you?
6.5.
6.5 years old.
She's lovely.
And she has been just terrific, and I think they've been enjoying Dallas. You
Yeah,
have found
absolutely
Dallas
have.
to be a very livable.
It reminds me of Melbourne. a lot because it's very, very friendly, very down-to-earth people, and just the one thing we both have in common is a love for dogs. See many people in apartments owning dogs, and it's just been a great experience for us.
India, what has been your favorite thing to do?
Making sea lion.
Aww.
Sea Lion's been a good boy.
Yes, yeah.
He listens well to you?
Yes.
Yes. And you're looking forward to having him at home?
Yes.
Well, part of our trip here has been that we went together and took Sea Lion down to Texas A&M, and why don't you tell them a little bit about what the doctor said?
Sure.
What a wonderful guy, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Texas A&M have been fantastic. They have seen Sea Lion before, and on this journey where we took him, they were testing his muscles in one of his damaged legs to see if they rebuilt the bone also have problems, but if they built the bone, would the muscle then take to that? And unfortunately, the results weren't good for the muscle, so he will have to have his right leg removed, but there isn't too much of a rush, and he's arriving in Australia on June 26, and after a couple of months, he'll be looking at options of getting that leg removed because he has his hips displaced as well. It's probably the best thing for him because he's carrying weight on a leg that's not actually doing anything, so it'll cause more problems to the hips. So it was a sad thing to hear, but it was also a good thing because it's a back leg, and when they're removed, it's much easier for them to rehabilitate. So I'm sure with everything he's been through, he will, he's an absolute survivor, and he's got a really strong heart, so he's going to do amazing, and we'll make sure he gets the best physio and care after.
Well, it's wonderful to have somebody who reaches across 3 continents to find an organization somewhere in the world that can foster Sea Lion so he doesn't have to be quarantined in a kennel for 7 months. But more than that, Ellie, you're doing an amazing job calling attention to the dog meat, the illegal dog meat trade of stealing dogs and taking dogs, pets, from people in Thailand and then sticking them in those horrible trucks and driving them down to the Mekong Delta and taking them across the river into Vietnam for food.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a tragic situation. Across Asia, over 30 million dogs a year are taken and killed, and most of them in horrific ways because they believe it makes the meat more tender. When you say 30 million dogs, people think, oh, that's such a big problem. I wanted to bring a face to that to Australia so people could actually see, a victim of the dog meat trade, and they would relate to it more than just a number. So when he's in Australia, he'll be an ambassador for Soy Dogs and will definitely be attending a number of events. There's also a documentary coming out later in the year about the dog meat trade, and he'll also be attending that. So for me, it wasn't just about rescuing Sea Lion, it was about helping those without a voice, those left behind. So together, we're going to work together to make a difference.
That's amazing. That's so wonderful. I'm so happy that you took on this mission and challenge, and I'm sure it hasn't been easy. How long has the entire process taken you?
Well, the process from end to end will be 12 months, but the way I look at life is life will always throw challenges, but you have to you only have one life, you've got to make a difference, and you've got to take every chance you get to do that. And for me, I was determined to adopt this dog, and no matter what happened, I was going to make it happen.
Well, Ellie, thanks for being with us. Anyone who wants information on the illegal dog meat trade can go to either our website or to Soy Dogs. That's SOI Dogs. And I believe they're soydogs.org.
.org, that's right.
Yeah, or of course, AmericanDogRescue.org. Also, we'll have their contact information and then also information about Sea Lion as well.
And actually, we're going to be announcing a campaign raising money to help Soy Dogs, so we'll be working on that over the next few weeks. And thanks again for Ellie for getting this done. And India, thanks for being here, coming all the way from Australia.
And thanks for having us on the show and for putting a face to the illegal dog meat trade.
Thank you both.
Thanks.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson.
I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I'm a pet lover first.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. DASH is a North Texas rescue organization that helps abandoned dogs from local shelters and matches them with forever homes.
DASH is not only helping those local dogs, but it's encouraging the younger generation to get involved with animal rescue. Watch this.
Hi, my name is Emily Stevens. I'm 10 years old, and this is my experience with DASH Dog Rescue. When I started to help my aunt, who founded DASH Dog Rescue, I was only 4 years old, and I just loved getting to spend time with the dogs and puppies. Mostly, I liked just being around them, especially holding and playing with the puppies. Pretty soon, my role with DASH expanded, and I was not just posing for pictures for Pet Finder, but attending adoption events and helping with fundraisers. As I got a little bit older, I started to understand that rescuing didn't only mean finding homes for dogs. It begins with saving their lives from shelters. I now know that while there are many positive parts of dog rescue, I have to accept the downsides as well. Whether it's letting a dog I get attached to be adopted or an occasional puppy dying from a disease like parvo, DASH still has to focus on the healthy dogs with great futures and great families ahead of them. Being a part of a dog rescue can help kids because it can teach them patience and compassion. Some ideas for young kids are learning how to approach and pet dogs properly and to give them treats carefully. Some ideas for older kids are volunteering for a rescue, raising money, and donating pet supplies through their scout troops, classmates, and Sunday school classes. Since DASH is an Australian Shepherd and Herding Dog Rescue, I have gotten to learn the specific traits of these breeds. At DASH, we work with each dog on social interactions and try to figure out what method is best for each dog. Every dog coming in has its own individual personality. For example, some like to be the alpha dog and boss the others around, while others are happy to lie on a bed chewing on a bone. Finally, I've realized the incredible work it takes our foster families, adoption counselors, and transporters to make DASH Dog Rescue work. When it comes to dog rescue, there aren't vacations, because our dogs have needs that have to be filled every day. As I've grown, I have also watched DASH grow. For now, the best lesson I've learned is that rescue is not really humans saving the dogs. It's the dogs saving us just as much.
Sarah Shepard and Toby Neal are with DASH and join us here to tell us more. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And tell us who you have with you.
I've got my personal dog Zeke, who was rescued 5 years ago, and now he's 6.
And this is Mally. We just rescued her a week ago, and she's typical of an Australian Shepherd breed.
She's the kind that we tend to rescue. They're healthy, about age 1 to 4, and she's from a rural shelter just about 2 hours outside of Dallas.
Well, and Sarah, your niece is absolutely adorable.
Thank you.
Tell us what Emily means to your organization.
Well, a lot. She's been doing this pretty much as long as I have, and she did start between 3 and 4 years old. really just posing for pictures with the dogs. But then she's helped with events, and she's raised money, and she's helped coordinate different ideas for kids, mainly. I mean, we've gone to some schools and some Sunday schools where she can talk, and she's in school right now, but that's why she put this together, so that she'd be able to give a kid's perspective on what it's like to work for rescue.
Well, can you tell us a little more about Dash?
Yes. It stands for Dallas Australian Shepherd and Herding Dog Breeds. So we don't just do Australian Shepherds, but also Border Collies, Collies, Shelties when there's a need. And then we also have a healer house, and they have more of the short-haired dogs, the healers and Catahoulas. So any and all of those and mixes. We're not too picky that they have to be purebred, although we do get a lot of purebreds. She's an example that may have some collie or border collie in her, but we wouldn't refuse her because of that.
Well, Bandit wants to know, who is Olivia?
Olivia is the reason that we started. Olivia, I actually met Arthur because of Olivia. It was a little Australian Shepherd mix, and she was extremely ill at another rural shelter. And I learned rescue very quickly because I spent the first 3 nights with her, day and night, syringe feeding her to keep her alive. I didn't know anything about what I was doing, to be honest, in retrospect at the time, but I learned. And then when she was eating on her own, it was a cause for celebration. And she was eventually adopted, and we have pictures of her originally and now in her forever home. And that family has come back and adopted a second dog as a companion for her.
Nice. That's great.
And Olivia was abused and very shy, and spent many nights under my bed hiding and wouldn't come out. And then she got used to me and went back to Sarah, and
she was Arthur's Dallas dog.
How many dogs do you think Dash has helped?
Well, according to Pet Finder, we've definitely rescued, listed and placed about 800.
Oh my goodness.
Some of them don't make that Pet Finder list, and a lot of those are puppies. I do want to add that I don't see us as the most heroic group, because we do tend to rescue very highly adoptable dogs from shelters, but I think we can help more that way. So that's that reason for that choice, and probably for the high numbers.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of work and a lot of effort goes into that too.
Do you have a lot of volunteers and foster families?
We have a lot more now. I remember trying to do it all on my own, and it wasn't nearly as successful. And now I have what I refer to as my co-directors, Toby, Jennifer, Candace, Aaron, several people that help on all levels with foster coordination, fund development, and just all aspects, mainly fostering. And then we have several people that just foster, which is not to say just fosters if it's not a lot, but that's their primary role.
Well, and Sarah, you mentioned saving over 800 dogs since Dash started. So with those rescues, I'm sure you have tons and tons of success stories that are very close to your heart. We're going to look at one of those and meet one of those success stories when we come back, so stay with us.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother, and this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family, but for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
So I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to For the Love of Dogs. We get into dog rescue for the successes we have in finding dogs a forever home, right?
Absolutely. And one of those dogs was Zach. Zach and his adopter, Terry Sutton, are here with an incredible rescue story.
Sarah, first tell us Zach's story. Where did he come from? What was his condition? How did this come about?
Zach came from another rural shelter that's a couple of hours outside of Dallas, and he had been taken to a PetSmart adoption event. And at the end of the day, if you weren't adopted from the event, then unfortunately he would have been euthanized back at the shelter because he's a large dog and they didn't have room. So we took him, and with no question, we took him. And soon after, had an application from Terry looking for a purebred Australian Shepherd for a very specific purpose. Do you want to explain what you were looking for?
Well, I was looking for a dog that I could train for my seizures, because I've actually died 3 times from my seizures. And they put a vagus nerve stimulator in me in late 2005. And I had had one service dog already, Madigan, from CARES. And Madigan, unfortunately, was getting old. I had to retire her. So I was looking for a replacement. And I was actually getting hopeless. I didn't think I'd be able to afford one. And there he was, right there.
On Pet Finder?
Yeah. I sent her an email, and she responded within 10 minutes. She says, well, it was close to Easter of last year. She said, can we meet on Easter? And we did. My husband and I went out with Madigan. And we did really good.
Yeah.
We did really good. We practiced for 2 years with him, for 2 hours with him.
Right, at the field. And I was somewhat hopeless before that because I had Zach in my home, and he was a big love bug, more like a lap dog. And I thought, I don't see how he's going to be a working dog, a Frisbee dog, an agility dog. So Terry proved me wrong that day at the field, and he rose to the occasion.
How does he alert?
By the chemical change my hand, he will get up and he will get in my face. He will look at my hand. If for some reason I'm just spacing off and not knowing, since I don't get an aura, he will get up right in my face and say, pay attention and swipe your magnet right now. And he does, and when I do swipe my magnet, it sends an electrical current to my brain, and that either will stop the seizure or make it just a small petite mal that I can handle. So.
How neat.
That is really
Dogs
great.
Dogs do so much, as we know.
He is my hero.
Yes. His life almost ended that day, and he lived to save Terry. That's how I look at it.
That's the way dogs are.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was asking you questions before we started the show about the harness. So, yeah, I had no idea.
Is Zach one of your most successful unions?
I think so. I think for this reason, and I've learned from Terry with epilepsy.com that Australian Shepherds have risen to the top of the list as a breed that can detect seizures. So we hope more people look for them, if not from us, then from rescues, Aussie rescues.
And now we have another guest, actually, that's going to walk on right now. So tell us a little bit about who we've got coming in.
Well, Molly is a little less refined right now for her public appearance.
Hi, Molly.
But Molly was on the streets of Fort Worth just 6 or 7 weeks ago. She almost had no hair on her entire body because she had demodectic mange, which is non-contagious but very ugly. And she had just been not cared for. She was dumped on the highway. And a nice lady found her on the service road, found me online, brought her to us, and Michelle has been fostering her. And I just wanted to bring her on because I wanted to show, and she is a purebred Aussie, that with obviously medical attention and love and good food, that in just these 5 to 6 short weeks she's grown back almost all of her hair. And we're working on the other refinement, the training, etc.
Sure.
But right now, we just wanted her to be healthy and happy and loved.
Absolutely, and she's just very happy to be here.
And
Yes,
her
she
little
is.
tail doesn't stop wagging.
No.
Is she up for adoption?
She's up for adoption. Yes, she is.
Well, there you go. Here's one for you guys. If somebody's interested in a purebred Australian Shepherd who's a love
Sweet
bug.
girl.
Great demeanor, gentle demeanor. Just needs the typical puppy training class.
How old is she?
She's probably just around a year old. She's very young. Sit, sweetie, sit. And her hair will grow longer.
Oh yeah, it's already
Yeah,
starting.
it's already,
to
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty nice
Okay,
and
girl.
big.
Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Thank you.
How many volunteers do you think you guys have at Dash?
As far as fosters, we have about 20 different foster homes.
Oh, really?
And
All over the Metroplex?
all
or-
over the Metroplex, definitely all over the Metroplex. We've lowered down the amount that are really out of state, out of town, very
Okay.
far, so that we can really see them and meet up with them and keep track of them all. I like to do that. And we have several in some homes, which are the bigger homes, and then we have some people like Michelle that have 1 or 2 at a time that they can really focus on. So we make sure that each foster has the right foster setting. The ones that need a lot of stimulation and activity and fun and socialization are in the larger homes, and the ones that need to recover from something or need some special training or are timid, they go to a one-on-one situation.
And do you do any type of trainings or anything for your fosters, or is there
We
anything?
do. We have a foster application, and then we just try and work with each person. A lot of people haven't fostered before, and they'll get in touch with us and ask what they can do, and then depending on the dog, we'll lead them through. Michelle was wonderful because she really wanted to start off fostering while debating adopting. So she's helped with 4 dogs, I think, since January.
Oh,
And
nice.
all of them have gotten forever homes, and it's really thanks to the work Michelle has put into them.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great experience.
She's a cutie.
She's absolutely adorable, and she's available. If you want to learn more about Dash Dog Rescue, visit their website. Go to dashdog.org.
That's all the time we have today. Thanks to Ellie Harris, Sarah, Michelle, and Terry with Dash Dogs Rescue for being here.
And to India, our sweet little India that
Yes.
was at the top of the show.
And to Bandit.
And Soy Dogs and Bandit. And remember to keep up with For the Love of Dogs online at AmericanDogRescue.org. And as always, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
For all of us here at For the Love of Dogs, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.